Hello there YouTubers, Jordan Blaikie, the Liver Flesh Man here today with another amazing video. This video is on liver and gallbladder flesh and new moons and full moons. Alright, so how does the new moon and the full moon interact with the liver and gallbladder flesh? Questions like, is it better to do the liver flesh on a new moon? Is it better to do it on a full moon? Does it matter if it's a new moon or full moon? What are the pros and cons to new moons or full moons with the liver and gallbladder flesh? So I'm going to answer some of these questions. First of all, the new moon and full moon are more optimal times to do the liver and gallbladder flesh. And the reason why is because the new moon and the full moon has effects on our body for cleansing effects on our body. If you look at nature, new moons and full moons are definitely times where the ocean and the gravitational field of the moon and the earth is interacting, causing all of life to respond to this gravitational field of the moon. So new moons, if you look at in nature as well, you see that new moons are a time of regeneration and renewal, of renewed energy. So the new moon in regards to liver and gallbladder flesh is the most optimal time with the moon connection to do the liver and gallbladder flesh. In the new moons, the liver is naturally cleansing, and often in new moons, small stones and debris and toxins within the liver and gallbladder are released through your feces, through your stools, and you may not see them because they're interlaced within the stools themselves, and they're typically smaller amounts of debris and stuff, but that is the natural way of the human body to release this toxic buildup from a less than excellent diet, as well as the pollution in the air and the water and everything we take in. So the new moon is the most optimal. The second is the full moon. If you look at the full moon in nature, there's also a very big interaction going on with the gravitational field of the moon and the earth. And then full moons are a time of getting rid of the old. It's also very similar. It's also making room for the new. It's making room for the new moon, the beginning of a new cycle, but it's the completion of an old cycle. So that's very powerful, because then you're getting rid of the old debris, the old stones, the old garbage, and making room for, when the new moon comes, a regenerative liver, a regenerative body with new cells being reborn. And so both are very optimal, but the new moon is more optimal than the full moon. Alright, so as far as the moons go, very, very important if you really want to tune into the cosmos, the stars and the planets and everything out there, that you do time them for new moons and full moons in order to receive the cosmological benefits with the cosmos and your cleansing for your unique individual body and connection to that. So yes, new moons and full moons are much more optimal than say like a quarter moon or three-quarter moon. They just have more healing benefits, and it's optimizing the flesh and getting more stone results as well. Okay, so definitely new moons and full moons, try to time it for that. As well, some other optimal times are when certain things are happening in the cosmos. Well, special spectacles of things, say maybe the planets are lining up on a certain day and there's a huge energetic portal that's being created on a higher level. Or if you're an astrologer or you know astrology stuff, there may be certain times you want to do that flush in order to optimize your connection to a certain planet or things like that. So there are also those are more special times, which only happen once in a lifetime kind of thing, where these planets line up, or whatever astrology thing you're working with. But the new moons and full moons are a constant time that you can count on for that. So then one last little thing I'm going to brief up on is also if you do pick a new moon or full moon, what are the most optimal ones to pick? Well, that comes down to the spring and the fall. Okay, the spring, if you look in nature, is when all the leaves are growing, animals are reproducing, things are being born and birthed. Just like the new moon, the spring is very much connected to the new moon of regeneration, a new cycle, birth, birthing of all life. So the new moon and the spring is very powerful. And then if you look at the full moon, it's very much connected to the fall and the winter, which is the beginning of that cycle, which then is the death to be reborn into the spring and the new cycle again. So it's a cycle of birth and death, birth and death, birth and death. Now if you do the liver flush on, say, the full moon in the fall, then you are getting rid of these liver and gallbladder stones and getting rid of the old and making room for the new in the spring. So there's 8 cosmological 8 cosmological liver flush days. I call them the 8 cosmic liver days. All right, and these are well, the first one is the most important, which is I created World Liver Day, which is the first new moon before the first day of spring. The first day of spring, according to the Mayans, is March 21st. So whatever new moon lines up before March 21st is World Liver Day, and that is the most cosmologically aligned day to do the liver and gallbladder flush, or any kinds of liver healing herbs or foods or drinks, anything like that. But even more so, I'm the liver flush man, so I'm more focused on the liver and gallbladder flush for this particular day. So that is the number 1. The number 2 would be a full moon, not a new moon before the first day of spring, but the full moon, the first full moon after after fall. All right, after so solstice and equinox, the new moon before and the full moon after. All right, and then so those are the 2, and then the rest of the 6 are okay. So if you look at spring, all right, spring, you got the new moon before spring, you got the new moon after spring, you got the full moon before spring, and you got the full moon after the first day of spring. So those are the 4 new and full moons connected to spring. Then if you look at fall, all right, you look at the equinox, then it would be the new moon before the equinox, the new moon after, the full moon before, and the full moon after. That is a total of 8 days, 8 cosmologically aligned days to cleanse your liver and gallbladder, one of the optimal times. So as far as to the original question, whether new moons and full moons are good for the liver or gallbladder flush, yes, they're very good, and I'd highly recommend to time your liver and gallbladder flush with the new moons and full moons, or any of the 8 cosmic liver flush days. Alright? So thanks for watching. I'm Jordan Blaikie, the Liver Flush Man. I hope that helped you decide when to do a liver flush, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.